So they'll be hearing y'all too. So we're gonna open this up. What I'm gonna do is like we'll just I don't know if y'all see each other the same way. We'll go Johnny, Bruce, and go around. But y'all just kind of give up your name, where you did time, how much time you did, and then of course if you got a nickname on the yard, so everyone knows that. So Johnny, you want to kick it off?
All right.
Oh, and
And this
what
is
and what you
recorded?
were in for? What you were in for?
Okay.
All right,
Hey, everybody.
sentence.
All right. Everybody, my name is John, and I was actually incarcerated in High Desert. Finished it up in Solano. Started in GBI, Tracy, in reception. And my crime that I was charged with was initially first degree murder. But I was actually tried and convicted for second degree murder. 15 to life and 1 year gun enhancement for a total of 16 years to life.
And you go by Johnny Girl. I mean Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. AKA on the yard. My handle on the yard was Johnny Boy,
Johnny
or
Boy.
Pop Up Johnny. Pop
Pop
Up
up
Johnny.
Johnny. That's what it really was.
Pop Up Johnny.
Kim?
Okay. I have the list of answers here. Okay. I'm sorry. I got so many things going on at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. My name's Kevin Bruce. I was sentenced to 15 to life for a second degree murder. And I spent 35 years incarcerated. Started off in DBI also, Vocational Institute. Made it to Folsom twice, New Folsom once, Mule Creek State Prison, and Solano twice. And I paroled from Solano.
Sweet.
Hey, I'm Moose. Oh, you done, Bruce?
I think.
Okay.
That haircut's making me scared. I'm saying, I
Man, it's
wouldn't watch
defying
the
gravity. Yeah, but it's losing power. You see, it's starting to lean.
It's like
Yeah.
It's getting more the Bob's Big Boy look.
there you go.
Yeah,
I need that Dapper Dan, man. It's like it's the only thing to cure that.
yeah, you
I
do
can't mess
good,
with
man.
WAP. Dapper Dan. Okay, yeah, I'm Moose. Yeah, at 17, I was charged as an adult for second degree murder. They was trying to give me 45 to life with the gang enhancement and everything. I took the plea for second degree murder. And I started my time in High Desert. Then I went to Steubenville, Old Folsom, Avenal, Chickasaw, finally Solano. That's where I paroled. And I did roughly over 18 years before they finally found me suitable. But I mean, it didn't stop there because then I had to deal with immigration because ICE came and got me. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that I'm dealing with right now. ICE.
How long were you in ICE? Most?
I was in ICE all the way to August, so like about 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Johnny, what, you were there 3 years?
3 years.
Well, Johnny
3
was
years of
fighting.
immigration.
Yeah, Johnny
Yeah,
was
that's
fighting.
And what, 22 is 22 what you did in prison, right?
Who?
You.
No, about 19 years. 19 years in jail and prison, and I was 3 years exactly on in immigration.
Yeah, so crazy stuff. Me, I guess I was lucky with my second degree murder. I went straight San Quentin to Solano with 41 points, so I just missed level 4 and did 10 years at Solano and got my little plea agreement, got my sentence overturned 5 years into it when I was cellies with this fool. And I'll never forget that, man. We were on lockdown for the white boy escape attempt.
Yeah.
For the white boy escape attempt in our building. And I forgot all about my case being in the appeal court, and they brought me legal mail. I'm not even thinking, we all like, when we getting off lockdown, they gave me that envelope, and I'm like, man, what the hell is this? And I pull it out. This fool's up on the top bunk, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I pulled it out. In the middle of the letter was in bold black. It said, your second degree murder conviction has been overturned. All I remember is I looked at it and I put it back in the envelope, and I was like, And he's like, what? And I'm like, hold on. I think I read it wrong. Hold on. I pulled it back out. He's like, son of a bitch. He's like, what? And I show him, and we're all yelling and screaming, all in lockdown. Couldn't even call nobody, do nothing. It was good, but I was like, damn, we're on lockdown.
Unbelievable, huh?
That was crazy.
You
Man.
just couldn't believe it.
Blessing, but crazy. So, how much time we got out now? Johnny, how long you been out of immigration back on Philippines? What'd you have, like a year? A year out here ish?
Not even
Not even.
No,
a year?
not even that. So when I was in immigration, I was fighting. There's a law where after 6 months, if you have an aggravated felony, murder being an aggravated felony, you can ask for it's called a bond hearing, not bail hearing, bond hearing, and they didn't want to cut me loose. They kept denying it, even though I had so many supporting documents to say that I should be out on bond. Fought it, habeas corpus on my own. I actually won. The government refused to let me go. They were pretty mad because I fought the government on my own. The feds, specifically, I was able to have Anoop and the Asian Law Caucus step up on my behalf and compel the judge to order them to actually cut me loose, which they did. I was actually in Alabama at the time. And then after that, I had to check in weekly, house arrest on Monday, an ankle monitor. And I was actually out for 7 months while my case was pending in the Ninth Circuit, and lost that. Went to U.S. Supreme Court, lost that. Had to check in. 7 months later, never checked out. The only thing I checked in was my luggage in the airport because they deported me. So they gave me a taste of freedom, right? And then the hardest thing, to be honest, was after 23 years and then getting out for 7 months, and then they're telling you we're gonna take you back into custody. Man, that was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. After 7 months.
See, I tell that story to so many people, man, and they don't believe it because people don't get that happens. And I always tell them like this. I go, look, man, that whether he's my friend or not, as a tax-paying citizen now who has paid a shit ton of money into taxes, I hate to think that I'm paying to house someone in prison that they're just going to deport in 20 years anyway. Deport his ass now. Why do I have to pay to house someone and medical bills and everything else if you're just going to deport him when he gets out? That don't make no damn sense, So, and people are like, no, that didn't happen. I'm like, man, if you want, I'll call him up right now. He can tell you said, like, I'm like, it's crazy. So, yeah, man, crazy. So, how long you been out since even from ICE? How long you been out total?
Total from ICE, the second time around?
Yeah, like how long have you been free, not in ICE?
Free? Yeah. Oh, with no check-ins or nothing since June 2018.
18.
So July, August, September, about 27 months now. With no check-ins, no ankle monitor, no nothing.
Bruce, how long you been out?
About a month. Less than him. About a month less than him. 2
All
years, 2 years, 2 months, and 20 days.
You still count like you inside.
I count them like it's every day, man.
That's right.
How many hours have you?
I've done the math. I just don't have it on me.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Bruce, how long you been out?
Oh man, I've been out for 8 years now.
8 years now.
8 years.
And I got
Wow.
damn,
Yeah.
I'm coming up on 11. I'm still on 10, but I'm coming up on 11. So we got 85 years inside and almost 20 out. That's crazy. Just between the four of us.
And that's a lot of somebody's life. You know what I mean?
And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys were worse than me. When I got out, I had literally spent a third of my life inside when I got out. And I was like, man. But, so kind of off script, but I do want to say this because I want to know how you guys felt, even though it's a little different because y'all were fighting for your freedom a lot more than I was. But I'll never forget the day I got out, my parents came and picked me up in their little minivan, and they were taking me across the Carquinez Bridge, going back to the East Bay. And like I started laughing, and my mom was like, "What the hell are you laughing at?" And I was like, "I swear to God, right now, just right this second, I feel like it never happened. Like it felt like I hadn't been inside at all. Like I was just somewhere, and they came and picked me up, and it was like surreal. I mean, it went by pretty fast, but just for that couple of minutes on the freeway, just like experiencing freedom for the first time, it was just this weird feeling like, damn, like it never happened. Like all that time just gone. Like, how did you guys feel when you got out?
Tag. I'll go. It was real surreal to me too. I really didn't have nobody in the San Francisco area that I knew other than people who I previously spent time with. So it was really, I knew I was going somewhere where I actually absolutely knew it. No, I had no close friends or family. And they took me down to the train station, gave me their little $200 card and said, "Here, use this." Waited till I got on the train and then sent me on my way after 35 years. And it was like, and I actually got out on a writ that I did because I challenged that they kept me beyond my time under the juvenile bill, and the court ruled in my favor and said they kept me 16 months past my term. Wow. And they planned on keeping me 7 years past my term. And so I actually won, and it's like one day they told me, "Hey, you're leaving," and 2 days later I'm on a train. And the most surreal part about it was I was happy. I mean, I don't give a take me to San Francisco. Wherever this train goes, take me. It didn't really matter. But then the conductor or whoever he is, the guy that takes the tickets, comes up and asked me for my ticket. And I handed him the card, the paper, and he goes, "Well, you can't pay for a ticket on the train." He says, "You don't have a ticket?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm getting violated." I'm like, yeah, already getting ready to go back. So I got off at the very next stop and bought a ticket. It was like, oh my God. So, and pretty much a third of my $200 was gone in a heartbeat. So I'm working with a lot less coming to town. But, and that's pretty much how it was for me. Coming to a city, I knew nobody, nothing. And I'll probably never leave now.
Yeah. What about you, Moose?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it was one of the worst experiences of my life. It's like, no, I'm serious. Like when ICE come pick you up, it ain't fun. I was on that plane for 18 hours, up and down, with shackles on. Top and bottom shackles on. When they finally, I waiver my rights, right? Because they're not deporting Lao. That's one thing that scares me, because if they do, I'm out of here. But they just kicked me out in Phoenix. They drove me up to Phoenix and kicked me out. I had to get back to Berkeley, in 2 days with no money, because you don't get gate money. It's like no ID, right? My family did everything they could to try to get me a bus ticket. And I was scared to death I was going to get violated before I was even free, because I had to get all the way back from Phoenix, Arizona. I've never been to Phoenix. It's like find my way back here. And then the worst part was when I got back here, my family got me a hotel room in Berkeley, right? So I can go meet up with my parole officer. I was horrified. I have never been alone for damn near 2 decades, And being in a hotel room by myself, I was horrified. Yeah, it was frightening. I was listening to everything, like the door, I was paranoid taking a shower. No, I'm serious. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
More than inside? Seriously?
I mean, it followed me. It came with me. Had my shoes on.
You wear your boots in the shower, buddy.
Hey, that's my wife, though. My wife is always like, if you're not at home, you got to wear shower shoes in the shower. And I'm like, man, I ain't in prison no more, man. I ain't doing that crap. Like, damn
Oh, you
it.
mean you guys don't do that no more? I still do. For
I do
real.
it for my wife. I remember Johnny Boy, when if he dropped his soap in the shower, it could be a brand new bar of soap. He would not pick that up. I'd be like, fool, my soap, I'll take it. Just scrub that down a little bit. It's
I would
like,
never pick that up.
I'm taking
I'm
it.
a germaphobe like that. It could be. I'm telling you, it could be brand new. I dropped it. It's a wrap. It's over. Donation.
There goes the donation. I'm taking it.
Donation.
damn shame. What about you, John, when you finally got out?
When I first finally got out through ICE, like Moose State, ICE was already there waiting for me. You guys remember Miss Rodriguez? She used to work at R&R.
Yeah.
Is she still there, Bruce?
The glasses? Yeah.
Yes.
She was there when I left.
She's like, she goes, hey, Silas, you know ICE is coming to get you, right? You're not walking out free. I said, I know. I said, I'm glad. She's like, what do you mean you're glad? I said, at least I know I'm not in prison anymore. So, I accepted that journey that, okay, I may not be in prison no more. I might be going to jail. But I know that once I get to this immigration jail, then I have that option to get out or choose to fight. Because I researched the whole immigration process before I actually went. So I know that if I were to just waive my rights and go back, I could be out in 3 months. But of course, I didn't. I chose to fight. So they transferred me all the way. After 2 years, I was in Sacramento for 2 years, out of nowhere. I mean, literally, they just woke us up, tell us we're leaving. They flew a bunch of us to Louisiana overnight. I was like, what the hell? And like we said, we're all shackled up. And then I spent. But see, Louisiana was built more like a prison. It was open. It wasn't like a jail where they contract with ICE.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 3 months there. Then they transferred me to another immigration facility, which is a jail in Alabama. I spent all in all, I spent 9 months. I spent about a year away from California. Like I said, I won my writ. They finally cut me loose. They were looking for me. They called me, they found me. I got all my stuff. I went to the booking, and then on the elevator, once they opened, they said, sales? I said, yeah. So I got good news, I got bad news. I was like, oh man, what's up? They said, you're not going home tonight. I said, what you mean? They said, because the ankle monitoring office is already closed, but you'll be going home tomorrow at 9 in the morning. I said, all right. That was the longest night of my life. The longest night of my life. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. Man, just knowing that tomorrow I'll be out. And so the following day, they finally called me. Man, I was happy. I was happy as hell. The jail captain actually drove me to Walmart to get a phone. And he literally just parked in the parking lot and just said, go ahead. I was like, Captain, man, I ain't been out in 20 years. Well, what am I supposed to do? Right? He said, just go to the back and look for a phone. I said, just go in? He goes, yeah. I said, what about my ATM card? And then he said, it's in the front. So then I tried to use the ATM machine. I didn't know how to use it. I asked somebody to help me. They're like, what's wrong? Is the ATM machine broken? I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know how to use it. They're like looking at me like, is this even your card? I said, yeah, I just got out of immigration jail. I said, oh, you're one of them. I was thinking, I didn't say nothing. Like, what do you mean you're one of them? So I cashed out, bought a phone. And thank you, Tito. You helped out too with my bus ticket. My wife, unlike Moose, I think times have changed. They were able to actually give me a ticket online. So she got me a ticket online. I didn't want to fly. I was scared to fly. I had a bad experience on the immigration. And I Con Air.
On air.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking cold, man.
So I told my wife I don't want to fly. I said I'll take a Greyhound. So from the time I got out and to my actual my getting on the bus, the departure, I had like 4 hours to burn. So I'm walking around Alabama, not knowing anything about Alabama for one, and then being free. I'm just cruising. I'm tripping on pushing the crosswalk button. The cars, the smell of sponge, dogs.
Yeah.
I'm looking for lizards on the sidewalk to go chase like we used to do back in the days. You know what I mean? And then when my bus finally came, It took us 3 days to get back to California, but we stopped over Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and then in New Mexico, we're right by the border. And then the border patrol actually came on the bus asking for paperwork. And then I was like, oh, damn, here we go again. So they came.
They were looking at you like, hey, Paisa, come here.
All right. So they asked for a license. I didn't have no ID. Like Moose said, you don't have an ID. I told them, I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just got out of the immigration. Here's my paperwork. I'm on ankle monitor. Here's my paperwork on that. I'm supposed to report to my deportation officer on Tuesday in San Francisco. Here's all my information. They looked at me. They looked at my picture. Like, okay, have a nice day. I was like, no, you have a nice day. I'm thinking they're gonna bring me back in because I had no documentation. But it was surreal though. It was surreal. I was able to see the U.S. on basically pretty much on a what do you call that? On a little
road
tour bus,
sightseeing tour.
Yeah.
Sightseeing tour. So before I got deported, so I can at least say I've been to Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, now Philippines.
It's a damn shame you're a Filipino and you just now seeing the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Monkey, what the hell, man? You muted.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's
Go
up, man?
So you got to get caught up, man. We need to hear your name, what you got convicted of, how much time you actually did, where you did your time, and how do you smile while you chew food? We still want to learn that too.
So what's up, everybody? For folks that I haven't met, good to meet y'all. My name's my real name, my full name is Nip, and Nip Keyland. I go by Key. Sounds more American. Also, I've been using it since I was in probably 6th grade, right? So I'm a juvenile lifer. I was locked up at 17 years old. I was sentenced to 27 years to life for first-degree murder. Did 23 years, got out. I got found suitable on my second hearing. The parents was actually there and forgave me, man. So that was crazy. I mean, that was a roller coaster, bro. That whole hearing was, right? So 5 months, actually, they stretched me out. You know, the board found me suitable in my second hearing. They stretched me out for the whole instead of 150, they stretched me out to 160. And then when 160 came, the exact day 160, immigration came and picked my butt up and took me to ICE. Well, I spent 5 horrible months in ICE detention, man. I'm like, they took me on a 3-day bus trip. They gave me, then I mean super tight, like buses. Like I'm super cramped up against other people. And then they put us in a holding tank. I remember one on a 3-day trip, they put us in a holding tank for, I think it was about 18 hours. And out of those 18 hours, we were shackled for 14 hours, like just straight shackled.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and then it was an ice box. It was like we were freezing.
Man, it's that what I said. It's like,
man, hey, I was scared to use the toilet because it was so disgusting. I mean, it was hella nasty. It stunk like urine and feces. It was horrible. It was bad, man. And then I remember when I got to ICE detention, Adelanto, and then I started getting a lot of nosebleeds, right? And so I put in for medical. So instead of treating me, they shipped me off. They transferred me to L.A., to Orange County, and locked me up in there. Man, those they hella racist over there, man. I'm telling you, like straight up racist. I mean, like, man, and they didn't give me a shower for 3 days. They told me if I press that button, they're gonna come in and whoop me, right? Me and my cellie, because they didn't want to give us a shower. They didn't want to give us nothing. They didn't give us nothing. No toiletry, no nothing. Just threw us in the cell and said, stay in there, right? And then when it was finally when my DPO came and saw me, she said, "Oh yeah, you're getting out. You're approved to get out." I said, "Okay, cool, but we're not gonna let you out today. We're gonna let you out tomorrow." I'm like, "You stupid!" I mean, man. Hey, I looked at the paperwork. I was granted. They granted my discharge from ICE a week ago, but they decided to keep me for another week. I'm like, and then that stupid broad because my brother had to fly all the way from Florida to come pick me up because he wanted to pick me up. She didn't tell him to the evening before I got out.
Wow.
And she already knew that I was getting out. And so she made my brother spend hell of money for an overnight flight and the hotel room and a rental to come pick me up. And then now, see, they didn't just let me out from.
Just a sec.
Shut up, Jerry. I ain't
Is that
talking to
her?
you. Yeah. And so,
Shut up, Siri.
and so my brother picked me, so they could let me out from Orange County, Santa Ana. And then my brother said, "Hey man, what do you want to eat?" I said, "Man, I want some pho." Right? So we driving around. We don't know nothing about Santa Ana, right? So we driving around. I said, "What's that place right there?" It looked like a Vietnamese restaurant. So we go in there. I'm super juiced, looking hella raggedy too. Like my hair, I had a little mini fro, because you couldn't cut my hair in there. So, and then man, I tell you, that's the worst pho I ever had in my life. And they put the bowl down in front of me. I looked at the bowl. I looked at my brother, and then I looked at the waitress. I looked at my bowl, like in prison, you look at the food that's getting pushed out of the hole. You look at the plate, you look at the guard, you look at the plate, you look at the hole. You're like, what the hell is this? Right? And then so man, it was horrible. But man, I was like a dog in a window on the way drive to Sac to go visit my grandmother. I was just like stuck, just like looking. Like I was just like, damn, this is crazy. I ain't got to look behind no bars, right? And then they gave me a cell phone. I'm like, I'm looking at the phone. I'm looking at my brother like, man, I don't know how to use this. How the hell you turn this on? My PO's calling me, right? I'm like, oh shoot, I can't hang it up on her. Because I didn't know, because I put it too close. I pressed my ear, actually pressed the shut off, and I can't disconnect. She just get mad at me. And finally, I was like, hey, I don't know how to use it. And my brother just put it on speaker. So and so it was cool because she let me stay overnight at my grandma's house instead of going straight to my transition house. Stay at my grandma's house. So it was. Yeah, man, it was so emotional to see my grandmother again, right? And also get to go in a room that I spent my childhood growing up in. But man, the next morning my back hurt because that bed was too soft.
Yep. Hey.
I'm used to that hard. Yeah, I'm used to that hard
real.
mattress, hard bed.
Right?
Man,
I forgot
up,
about that.
like,
yeah, that's real, man. I remember
And
my
sinking
first
into a
night,
bed.
I
I didn't know what that was like.
yeah.
I was like, I don't need a pillow. Just give me a roll of toilet paper. I'll be all right.
For real.
Oh man.
Hey, so how long total were you locked up, and then how long you been out now?
So I was locked up 23. I've been out going on 5 years, and I discharged in less than 3 years on parole.
Wow.
On a first. That's unheard of.
How'd you do
that?
About 5 years.
Huh? I've been out about
Is it about 5 years?
Going out
Man, I still remember when you got found suitable.
It's crazy.
I was still in ice, I think. Yeah, I was still in ice.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's crazy. I didn't even put it for no early discharge. They just hit me up. He said, send me all your financial report. I sent it in. He said, 2 weeks later, he called me up and said, hey, man, get off my caseload. I'm like, what? Like, don't play with me, man. I'm like, don't play with me. He said, man, you need to
Who's your parole officer?
Oh, this in Coco County with
It was Robinson, right?
Robinson, yeah.
That was my PO too.
Yeah. He just like, you discharged. I'm like, what? I said, I ain't gonna pass 50 miles till you get my paperwork.
It's a trick.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I'm like,
It took them like a year to give me my discharge part. I gave up. I was like, I don't even want that damn thing. Whatever, man.
Yeah, it took me 5 years
they
to get
made me
off
do
parole.
my. They let Uso run, man, and that fool's case was way worse than mine. They kicked him off on 13 months, so I'm thinking, I'm gonna get early. Man, they kept me the whole 3 years. They were like, nope. I'm like, yeah. And then I got a new PO, and the new PO told me, he said, you know why you still on parole? And I'm like, no, man, could you please explain? He goes, because you're easy caseload. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch?
Oh, that's some bullshit.
But I wasn't tripping. Like, you don't know how many times they call me and I'd be like, hey, I'm in a meeting. They'd be like, okay, I'll catch you next month. I'd be like, all right, bye. I just keep doing my thing, man. I in 3 years, I checked in maybe 18 times.
Damn.
Yeah, for real. Like, so I can't complain, but still,